Alrighty then, after adding the key and fill lights motivated by the environment, the next step would be to smuggle in some backlight or rim light to pop our robot out of the background. We would need a new collection first though, to make our life easier later on. We'd need a small area light placed about 35 degrees behind the subject or directly behind the subject, illuminating the shoulders and the back of the head, giving a really cool halo effect. Usually it is a quite small but also pretty powerful light, so we can go fairly wild with its wattage. We can crank it up really high, all the way up to 1000 watts. We can also try giving it a subtle or not so subtle bluish tint to create some more separation. It's a matter of style, I guess. How saturated do you want your light gels to be? I'll keep it subdued though, just a hint of a bluish tone there. The point of this light is just to make a silhouette pop out. While tweaking this backlight, I'm trying to keep the environment in mind though, to not make it too bright or too colorful, so it no longer looks like it could be a natural light within this warehouse or whatever this location is. We can play with the shape of light, trying to catch nicer highlights. Generally, a smaller, harder light works really well here, since it picks up the textural detail really well. So this is our backlight, almost directly behind this subject, outlining the silhouette. Following up the idea of compound light sources with more interesting patterns though, it could be worth adding a larger light into the mix, to play with the idea of the light wrapping around the model. This idea was present in our initial HDRI, so maybe we can build upon it. I don't know, what do you think? With a slightly warmer tone and the power turned down considerably? Could it work? I think it could. These are all valid considerations. Ultimately, it's up to you to decide whether you like this extra wrap or not. I think it is okay. I'll certainly leave this second backlight for this extra wrap. I think even though it's fairly subtle, it adds something important. So let it be. Now let's have a look at the whole package. That is how it looks with and without the backlights. We can officially confirm that it adds something important. It looks nice. So that was our rim light, and now it seems we have a fully fledged 3-point lighting system in place. Here is a quick summary of what we have done so far with our cinematic lighting setup. We have placed the key light to hit the shorter side of the face on the opposite side from the camera to drop all the beautiful shadow gradients in our direction. This created a rounded shape with a gradual dive into darkness. To fill that darkness in, we utilized the ambient light offered by our HDRI environment, effectively reducing the overall contrast and just revealing the stuff that otherwise would have been too dark. Next, we made our subject's silhouette glow by adding pretty harsh backlighting. Not too extreme, not too subtle, a cool halo popping it out from the background. It effectively turned our setup into the industry standard 3-point lighting, a setup widely used in films, photography, and whatever else. This setup is already pretty versatile because from here you can mix and match for all kinds of combinations. Maybe the key light could stream in from overhead, making the light fall off go in that direction. Who knows? It very well could be. This would be a broad lighting since the key is at the same side as our point of view, but it could work just as well. Well, maybe not as three-dimensional as the reverse key lighting, but again, it's a subjective thing. Then the rim light would be there, lighting our silhouette from that side, picking up all the beautiful textural details. And our fill light would come in from below, filling in those darks. That's how it would go. It would still be the 3-point lighting, just with a different mix of elements. That's it. There's a reason it's so widespread, this 3-point lighting thing. That being said, you don't necessarily need all 3 lights though. There's nothing wrong about 2-point lighting schemes and 1-point lighting schemes for that matter. It depends on the type of cinematic look you're going for. I can totally imagine the silhouette type of look with just the rim light and tiny amount of fill, and even though it's a bit more flat, as we can't see much of the roundedness of shape, but it is still a valid light setup. Or our key light could come in from the background, turning it once again into the upstage lighting situation. I am a huge fan of it, if you haven't noticed already. Narrow lighting, aka the best thing ever. So that was a quick overview of our lighting workflow so far. A solid 3-point lighting foundation is in place. If you don't feel the need to reshuffle its components, we can carry on adding much needed contrasts, the sun and stuff like that.